Start na ta.
Oh, okay na.
Julia.
Okay.
Sorry. Sir, i-record naman ni sir
Kinsa
ha.
magsugod?
Ako.
Sige.
Good evening, sir.
Sige.
Yes, good evening.
Mag-start na ko ha. Redulia.
Sige.
Okay, so good evening, sir. So we are a third-year college student from St. John Paul II College of Davao, and what we are doing now is a part of our activity in EDUD109, which is the school and the community, school culture and organizational leadership. And in this activity, we are tasked to interview a teacher who works in the private school. Sir, so is it okay for you if we talk about your school?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, but before we start to ask you the following questions, is it okay for you to introduce yourself to us, sir?
Yes. Okay. Okay, so
Okay,
Okay, by the way, my name is Loderico Q. Tudlasan. So I have my experience in a private school for almost 2 years. Then currently I am a teacher now in a certain public school in Turil. But last year, for almost 2 years, I was able to have my teaching experience in one of the private school in Davao City, located at Matina Crossing, which is the MR Human and Environmental College. So the name of the school is MR Human and Environmental College, located at Matina Crossing, Davao City. So I am a licensed teacher for almost 3 years, and almost a month or 1 month, almost 1 month will be my teaching experience in a public school. But for almost 2 years, I was a private school teacher. Last 2018 to 2020. So that's all.
Okay. So, sir, our first question is, who does the hiring, promoting, and firing of teachers?
Usually in a private school, the person who are tasked to hire or for hiring task is that the academic heads or the coordinators, either in elementary or secondary. So either elementary or junior high school department, or even in senior high school department. So the person who are tasked to hire applicants usually is the coordinator and the principal itself, because they're the one who is observing the teacher, the applicant, in doing their demo teaching. So usually those are the common people who are tasked to receive an applicant and also to hire a teacher, from that school.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Number 2.
So, proceed na ta sa second question.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
Sir, ito po yung second question. Whom do they get instruction in relation to their classroom duties and tasks?
Classroom instruction.
Yes.
So
sir.
usually in a private sector, the person who is tasked to make an assignment, especially to those teachers who are able to pass the interview or even the demo teaching, are the coordinators also. They are the one who are designated to give especially the loads in every subject. So either academic heads, coordinator, or the principal. Usually they are the one who knows about the loads, or even the how do you call that? Even the president or the owner of the private sector or that private school. So, but usually in a private sector, no, the coordinator and the principal knows the loads, and they're going to give you the assigned task, especially those teachers who are uh, having their load, especially in advisory. So that is the task of the coordinator or the academic heads in a private school.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, for the third question, sir, here's the third question. How do they describe their school as organization in terms of decision making?
Usually, when it comes to decision making, if there is a certain policy that will be imposed by the administrative order, so that is or belongs to administrative case. But in the life of the organization, usually it depends upon the situation we're in. Let's say, for example, if there are policies that we need to impose, usually the principal, the coordinators, or even the owner of the school will conduct a meeting. And as a form of organization, we are freely to ask you about your opinion, about your insights in a certain policy. But the organization in general is function as a whole. I mean to say that the organization is functioned as one, and usually most of the organization in the school were divided into different subject areas. So all of the organizations in the school are well organized by the academic heads, the coordinators, and even the owner of the school itself.
Next question.
Good evening, sir. Our fourth question is, what common issues of task delegation do they encounter?
Usually in school, before the information was or will be given to the teachers, usually we've done or we're conducting or they conducted a meeting. But usually the most common issue is that the miscommunication. So there are some clarifications or informations that the teachers they need to ask. But again, it is the purpose of having that information. But miscommunication or misunderstanding of, let's say, for example, policies or events. So those are usually the issues. But again, it will be corrected directly if teachers are concerned and able to ask questions directly if they had or they have questions with regards to the misconceptions they have in their mind. So basically, those are the common issues of the teachers in a private school. But even in teaching loads, there are some scenarios that you are given a task to teach. Like, so for example, if you are a major in Filipino, but you are tasked to teach English, or you are a major in science, but you are tasked or you have the chance to teach in mathematics. So those are the questions that they need to answer. But again, in private school, you are fully utilize your ability as a teacher to you as a challenge, even though that major is not in line with your major also. So but among that issues, no, it is not an issue, but it is one of the challenges that the teachers are facing in a private school and even in the public. So that is common. But again, as a teacher, you are multitask to do such thing in order for you to give your insights or learnings towards your students.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, here's the last question po. What action can they recommend to create better school organization?
So usually, one of the most important thing that we need to consider if we are working in a private school is that first is that you have the unity. So unity is one of the major factor that we need to consider. It's because of the different people inside the school. So we all have know, or we know that every teacher has its method in teaching, and even we have different behavior. So one of the most important thing that we need to consider is that the unity, because without the unity, there's no such thing as fulfillment of our task in teaching profession. Second is that the collaboration, because without the collaboration of the teachers inside or within the school itself, we can't even realize our teaching profession that it will lead to a better, it will lead to a successful task in teaching, because collaboration makes us feel free. Then it will gives us better understanding of our students, even with our co-workers, as well as with our teachers. So understanding also in a different situation will lead us to have a successful workplace, because without the understanding of each other, we're not able to deliver our lesson plans, especially in a classroom setting. No, so understanding is one of the most consideration that we need to consider as a teacher.
Okay, so maura to among question, sir. Thank you
Do I
for your time, and we are forever,
do I need to have a recap? Because
sir.
I have my list in your questions.
I did.
Do I need to have a recap? So if fast
Dili na sir.
review.
Okay na sir na. Okay na to sir, naka screen record man ni ato ang conversation po.
Sige, sige.
Okay, so thank you kaayo sir. Thank you for your time, and we are forever grateful for your support po. Thank you.
Okay. You,
Thank you, sir.
bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye bye
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye.